Of course, some of the animals that live without homes here on the streets of any big city in Thailand do lead a fairly difficult and rough life and get hurt and injured. There's a couple in Pattaya who are doing their best. They take in as many cats as they can, they look after them remarkably well, and they seek to find homes for them. Their story is really heartening. In Thailand, the often transient foreign population means that their cats and dogs, their pets, can't go with them when they move to another posting. It's a very fortunate thing that in some instances there are people who take care of such misplaced animals and help them find a fine new home. In a quiet residential quarter of East Pattaya, a British couple is happily sharing their large home and garden with a multitude of cats. Some are cats with special needs. Others need to be kept apart. All are cats that would otherwise be homeless. They're lovingly cared for by Paul and Sandra Griffiths, who try to find permanent places for these endearing household pets. Was it just sheer luck that the two of you got together and both loved cats?
I suppose it was, wasn't it? Yeah, we had cats as children, and I suppose it just went from there, really, didn't it?
So, coming here from England, did you come via anywhere else? Did you have cat experience anywhere else?
Oh, we did in England. We used to volunteer at an organisation called the Cinnamon Trust, didn't we? And it was for elderly people and their pets. And if the elderly person died, the trust would take their pets and look after them until they died, didn't they? And we used to go there and help out, and it was lovely.
So you decided to move to Thailand. You live here very happily now, surrounded by these cats. Where have all the cats come from, Paul?
A majority of them come from a shelter down in Sattahip, but we have taken a few from members of the public that have come across one or two, and one in particular, I think I was explaining to you earlier, the lady had a mum and 4 kittens on her balcony, and the owner of the apartment said, if you don't get rid of these cats and kittens by Friday, they're going to be poisoned. So, you know, they got in contact with us, and we didn't really want to take them, but what could we do, you know?
Yeah. Sandra, I see you're very attached to that little one there, but I guess you love them all, do you?
Yes, I do, all equally. So, sometimes they make me cross if they're fighting or in my way when I'm trying to do my cleaning, but yeah, we love them all.
What can you tell me about this little one?
Well, this young man is called Woody. He was a lot smaller than this when we brought him home first. He has been out to a home already, but he cried for one night, and so the gentleman brought him back. And I think it's because he didn't have a friend and he was lonely. If you can imagine, he's been here playing with sort of 20 other cats, and suddenly to be taken somewhere where there's no other cats. So he came back, and when we returned, the gentleman had dropped him through the gate and left him in the drive because we were out, and when we came back he was fast asleep, and very happy to be back, I think.
Do they often have disabilities, the cats that come into your lives?
We've had a few for sure. We've got young Toby here. You can see he hasn't actually got any eyes. Now we found him at the shelter. He was bumbling around a bit trying to find something to eat when we saw him, and Sandra found him first, and she said, this cat's got no eyes. I said, no. So you don't know what you're talking about. And went and saw him, picked him up, and hey presto, no eyes in there. We think that his other senses must be really heightened due to the lack of his eyesight, because he can run and play, he can hear the birds, and he plays with the other guys, plays with the ball. Absolutely amazing. He'll follow you around the garden. He can hear you walking, so he'll just follow you around.
What an amazing example he is of a cat with a major disability, unable to see, and yet able to live a really good life. But there are some traps here, though, aren't there? I mean, you've got that lovely pool just there. Cats don't like water that much.
He's been in there once or twice. We actually, the first time he went in, he went straight in and came straight out. The second time, Sandra saw him struggling and actually jump in with all your clothes on to save him. So after that, when we used to go swimming, we used to actually take him in with us and give him some lessons, because he can swim well enough. Most cats can, but he couldn't, because he couldn't see. He didn't know where the sides were. Yeah. So he was continually swimming in a circle and gradually panicked. But touch wood, every time he's fallen in since, he's managed to get out himself. So
what do you do when you find a cat that's got a major health problem, perhaps has been injured and hasn't been properly looked after or attended to?
Immediately take them to our vet. Usually they'll stay there for a few days, get checked out, have their blood taken, see what's actually wrong, diagnose, isn't it, and then some medicine and that. And then when they're well enough, they'll come back here for the rest of their recuperation. And then we gradually blend them in with the rest of the cats, so everybody lives as a happy family.
Like that one behind you there.
That's young Ziggy, aren't you? She's actually 6 months old, but she has a bit of a trouble with her stomach, don't you? And she can only actually eat cat's food. She can't eat biscuits, and we just have to make sure that she doesn't eat anybody else's biscuits, because she can only have cat food. I see. And hopefully she'll grow up to be a big girl one day.
See, feeding all of these cats, and you have more than 20 at the moment, don't you? I dare say there have been even more than that at different times. The expense of that, where does all the cat food come from, and how do you handle that side of it?
Well, until recently, it's just been left to us, to be honest with you, to fund all of this. We pay for the vet's bills, we pay for the food, but we have had a few people recently donate us some food, which is obviously amazing for us. It just helps us along the way to help these guys. Gives us more money to spend on vets bills and things, instead of having to pay for everything. So yeah, we're delighted to have people donate us bags of food and things. Absolutely delighted. Any idea what it in fact costs to keep a big brood of cats for a month even? It depends really on the vet situation. Yeah. If we've got 7 or 8 cats that are sick, we can spend upwards of 25,000 sometimes a month, just on vets bills. So without the food, probably another couple of 3,000 on the food, and of course everything that goes in there comes out here. So you've got to buy cat litter as well, which is just as expensive as the food, So that's a double whammy, unfortunately. Very well put. Yeah.
I wish you could recycle it.
You seem to have a name for all of them. You love them, huh?
Yes. We have a little book. It's actually a little crossword dictionary, sort of like names of rivers, 7 letters or 8 letters, and it's got boys' and girls' names. And I must admit, I take great delight when we find a new cat, choosing a new name. But Paul's usually the one that, if there's more than 2, the same brother and sister, Paul usually chooses... Our latest was
Ronnie and Reggie. We've just managed to rehome. They're twins, aren't they? Yeah. Twin boys. We just managed to rehome them a couple of weeks ago.
Why did you choose Ronnie and Reggie?
Basically because they were boys and twins. We couldn't really think of any others.
That sounds a little bit like the Cray twins to me.
That was it. Yeah, the Cray twins. And of course, I think you've seen Eric and Ernie. Just around the corner there.
Of course, Morecambe and Wise.
So, Eric and Ernie are there, and we've had who else have we had?
Mindy in the past.
Morecambe and Mindy, that was a good combination.
Many.
Topsy and Turvy.
Yeah, Topsy and Turvy. Yeah.
How can people give you a hand? Because there are lots of animal lovers in the city and other parts of Thailand, aren't there? How can they really help, apart from thinking, well, what a good job, and then forgetting about it?
Unfortunately, a lot of people do just they pat you on the back and say you're doing a fantastic job, and then you never see them again, But our main priority is to find homes for these guys. So any way that anybody can advertise for us, promote our website, which we'll tell you about later, forward our phone number to everybody. We need everybody in the Pattaya area to know that if they want a cat, try and come to us first rather than going to a shop or the market. These guys are lovely. They you don't have to pay 5,000 baht for a cat. You can come and get one for free here.
Yes. Lovely free cat here, beautifully looked after. They've all been to the vet as often as necessary. What's the website called?
The website is Cats for You in Pattaya. So it's quite easy to remember. If you just put into your search engine catsforyouinpattaya.webs.com, it will usually bring up our site first on the list. So Cats for You in Pattaya, and use the number 4 and not FOR. So Cats for You in Pattaya. Put it in your search engine. Hopefully ours will come up straight away. You can see all the cats that are here on there, and also some are at the shelter. Obviously we have to try and make arrangements for any of those if they're still there. So
But there's no shortage.
there's no shortage, not at all. No, in fact we've had people in the last couple of weeks want us to take cats. At the moment we just can't take any more. So we're at that point where, you know, we can't help anymore until some of these guys go.
Yes.
So
it's a labour of love. They all have names as we have discussed, and so you can get a cat free, comes with its own name, and
yeah. We also give cat litter trays and baskets and beds and food and stuff as well. If a lot of people come not really 100% prepared, don't they? They forget to bring a basket on things. So we've always got baskets here that we can give people. We always like to give them some of the food that they're used to, because that helps with the transition. We usually give them a bed so they can smell their own smells. They're happier when they go home, you know.
And will they adapt to being alone if they're taken by a person individually?
They do seem to. It's a bit harder for the older ones, I think. The younger ones tend not to worry too much. They just they'll go anywhere really. But the older ones, it's a little bit more tricky. But we always try and encourage people to take 2 if they can. It's easier for the cats, and to be honest with you, it's easier for the people sometimes, because they take care of themselves.
Yeah.
They play with them, you know, play around themselves, and if you've got to go out, they're less destructive, I think, when there's 2. They take up each other's time.
So lots of scratch pads.
Scratching poles, anything that they can do their nails on, yeah, for sure.
I would just like to add that if the cats, when they're rehomed, are of the correct age, we will get them neutered. We're quite happy to cover the cost of that so that everything goes off safely.
Inevitably, Toby, the sightless cat, wanders off for an unscheduled swimming class and has to be rescued by his carer, Paul. For Pattaya's Paul and Santa Griffiths, it's all about caring for a species they find fascinating and ensuring each cat is just perfect to become someone's purring companion. To view more of my videos or to contact me about perhaps participating in your projects, please visit rodmcneil.tv.